Milk Tea Cafe! Authentic boba tea, ramen, and Taiwan street food. Oh, look at that handsome Jay. Absolutely, he's just so playful. Lest we forget the handsome devil Coco, which is his one and only appearance in this particular film. Milk Tea Review! Let's get on! In the left corner, you have the rose milk tea and agar, and in the right corner, you have the Japanese milk tea with boba. Cue crowd going wild. Yeah! Oh my, he's not gonna do a double take of both milk teas at the same time. Ooh, but he is! He is gonna do both. I do wonder how that's going to turn out. Yeah, I bet that's a shock to the system right there. Oh, but it's all good. He cues that it's tasty with a little top off of the rose. One more victory dance for Jay, back and forth with the head bob. Well, thank you, annoying announcer Jay. Let's get into dissecting the actual flavors of these individual milk teas. First, you have the rose milk tea, which had actual rose petals at the bottom, which creates a silky smooth purity taste associated with the rose that I have never previously experienced before. I personally feel the agar complements the rose petals as it kind of creates a strawberry flavored rose texturing. This to me was very unique and quite honestly a first, but I liked it a lot. Which in contrast, then you had the green Japanese milk tea, which I didn't quite like as much for the simple fact that I'm not fond of a green flavor within my milk tea. Not that the Japanese milk tea in itself wasn't smooth and elegant. It's just that added flavor of a herbal green, somewhat matcha flavor to it just didn't sit well with my taste buds. However, the boba itself resting at the bottom was perfectly cooked, thoroughly chewy, and held a solid substance feel in the bottom of your stomach, making a meal. Let's transition away from the picture of the puppy to the elegance of the diner, and then to our next two milk teas that we tried, given on a separate day. You can see by the color transition of my shirt from blue to yellow. But this is the lychee milk tea with boba. And again, we went back to the rose milk tea, but this time with herbal jelly at the top of the beverage. So this time you can distinctly see the rose petals are the only objects at the bottom of this beverage this time. The one thing I love about this restaurant is the fact that everything is absolutely pronounced. The rose petals hit you with a rose flavor. The lychee hits you with a significant lychee flavor. Everything that they do is in excess on the flavor of what you order. The flavor profile experience that you can have at this restaurant will put a smile on anyone's face. With the heavy flavor profile put on the drinks, I had to try the chicken wings and the popcorn chicken. And without a doubt, this was the exact same experience I had with the boba. The flavor profile on each one of these is to an excess. If you want a lemon garlic chicken wing, prepare yourself for an excessive amount of lemon to assault your taste buds, mixed with the volume of garlic that you can visibly see on the chicken wing here. When it comes to the popcorn chicken, there's a lot to unpack here. The salt and pepper aspect of the chicken is well balanced when you throw in the deep fried breaded exterior. The level of crunch is proportionate to the all white chicken meat on the inside. I have found that these are best eaten when they are hot and freshly made, as the crunch level starts to fade. The chicken starts to overpower the popcorn-esque expected crunch. Presentation is done very well with the added green kale, I'm guessing. Jumping over to the chicken wings, they are an absolute must, I have to admit. There is a layer of melted butter on the bottom that contains excess lemon and eventually garlic, but the volume of lemon and garlic that you have is just something that you have to experience, as it is an overload to your senses, but yet still balances well with the chicken wing, which is very odd in my opinion. The interior of the chicken wing, beautifully cooked to the point where it's so juicy, so moist, falls off of the bone. You could literally, and I have, drink these chicken wings off the bone if you so choose. Now, just to be funny, I was eating these popcorn chicken as if they were popcorn, one after the next after the next. It is truly a delight with the balance that they have and the crispiness when they first come out. It gives you that warm, cuddly feeling inside. Now, transitioning over to the chicken wings, which all we had left was the chicken drumsticks. They are a formidably large drumstick, but again, with the excess amounts of melted butter at the bottom and flavoring, it feels as if it's going to bite you when you bite into it. But it gives you that overpowering lemon, yep, you get hit by it, and garlic for miles flavor. On the second time round, decided to transition over to the honey garlic wings with a side order of the lemon garlic. So this time we'll only review the honey garlic. As to be expected, the honey garlic is thoroughly covered with honey, and every single bite that you get reminds you that you ordered a honey garlic chicken wing. The garlic itself is less pronounced with this chicken wing, and it feels as though the garlic was melted into the honey. Here is where you need to brace yourself for what looks to be a crab entering into the screen from the right, but nonetheless, it is indeed simply a well-cooked and juicy chicken wing, which no matter what angle you look at it, tastes great if you enjoy honey on your chicken. Lastly, we have our well-prepared Tonkotsu Ramen. All of the traditional items you would expect appear in your Tonkotsu Ramen, with the serving of the soup separate on the side allows for you to sit and enjoy your chicken wings until you're ready, preventing your noodles from growing soggy. And in a slow, good-for-video fashion, I'll pour in the soup, slowly covering each and every one of the items in the Tonkotsu Ramen, up until the point where it just starts to boil over all of the items, making them all nice and warm and toasty for my consumption. Mixing about the items just a little bit here and there to get the flavors mixed around, and for good showmanship, I reveal the fatty pork that is customarily always with your tonkatsu, and absolutely delicious nonetheless. But digging down into to reveal the eggs, which were decent, but the noodles, which I thought were a bit soggy already, which I thought odd considering the soup was served separate. They weren't exactly what I found to be enjoyable, which is why I actually didn't finish my Tonkotsu. So of all the Tonkotsu ramens I've had as of so far, this one I would have to say is decent in the fact that all the ingredients were well put together. They tasted pretty good with the exception of the noodles. The eggs were pretty close to being at par, but one of the things I enjoyed very much about this particular one is the soup itself, and that is the main ingredient you definitely want to get right, which indeed Milk Tea Cafe has done very well. Overall, I would say this is one cafe that I would come back to if I was interested in having any food items that they prepare with an extreme flavor overload on every single one of them. When you're ordering the milk tea, there is always going to be more lychee in the milk tea than what you would expect. The rose milk tea has actual rose petals, and their lemon garlic chicken has excessive amounts of lemon and garlic. So if that is your style, then Milk Tea Cafe is the place for you to be.